Hi Sagittarius, Happy New Year. This is Chronic Joy Tarot and we're doing your current reading. This is being posted in January of 2018, but whenever you watch it, whenever you view it, that's the right time for you to experience this reading. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for the likes and shares and subscribes and all the ways you show up for me on this channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome, thank you, Happy New Year. And know that my style of reading is more geared toward your own spiritual growth. It's all about you, where you stand now, and what you can sort of focus on in order to continue down your toward your spiritual truth. Less about others. It's less about external people or situations. And I'm not a predictive reader. I'm an intuitive reader, so I feel where you're at now and what you can focus on to keep growing. Okay? Welcome. Thank you. I usually pull one oracle card every month, and then I read from the Zen Tarot deck to expand on that topic. And your topic at this time, dear Sag, is tsunami. Wake-up call. So I'm going to take this two ways. It's either you have just been through or are going through something extremely dramatic in your world. It could be a loss or a sudden change, something that you didn't see coming, and it's stunned you, and we're trying to figure out how to proceed from here. Or this is a completely internal energy, and you're feeling things stirring within you that are making you feel like you want to reach towards some change, or that you're working on changes within. These could be internal aspects of yourself, such as, I don't know, if you tend to be a jealous person, you might want to start to focus on that and work on, where that's rooted, where it's coming from, and how you can lessen the effect of that in your future. That could be something something like that internally that you might want to work on. But it's time, because, the energies are saying, out with it, right? It's sudden shift. Okay. So maybe, if this is like an internal change, and say you have been really jealous, and you just don't want to be anymore, then, this reading in itself is your signal that it's time to stop, right? Or time to work toward easing those jealousy tendencies. It's, we're never done. We are always progressing. We're never done in this life. You're always going to have the next thing to encounter and work on. So be nice to yourself. Be gentle. If you are going through a dramatic shift right now, and you're finding that it's difficult to cope with, know that you have the support you have my support, and you have the support of your spirit guides, your higher power, and your inner being. Okay? Your inner being just wants you to be happy and well. Okay? So let's see where we're starting here. This is going to be called the Flying Bird, this spread with the Zen Tarot deck. We have a liftoff point here, and then we take flight and come to a new level of awareness. Left side of the wing are internal energies that are going on within you that you may or may not share with others. And the right side of the wing, or the right wing, are external energies and things how they show up in your day-to-day life. Okay, your starting point when it comes to this wake-up call is the dream. You may have expected a situation to be different than it actually has turned out. Okay, this example right here talks about specifically like a romantic encounter, but it doesn't have to be. This is basically, this is the picture that's shown here is depicting that, our aspirations are to grow up, fall in love, get married, and live happily ever after, right? That's the dream. But that is really an illusion, because that's not how life goes. Life doesn't go linear like that. And if you can plan your life that way, okay. But there's always going to be some kind of a blow up and some kind of a shattering and some big events that happen that change the course of our lives. So this is just talking about perhaps this wake-up call is coming on the heels of this sense of disillusionment. You know, maybe you had in mind the way something would go and it just didn't turn out that way. You know, maybe you thought your relationship would last 10 years and it just blew up after 2. Or maybe you believed your children would grow up and be doctors and they grew up to be, you know, something very different that was closer to their own heart. Don't let that shatter your dream, right? That's, you know, that this is what this guidance is that the life that's right here, right now is the truth, right? It's your life. And if it's something, you know, earth-shattering that happened or something maybe like a warning, you know, pay attention to it. Pay attention to why it showed up and what you can learn from it. This just happened to me last week. I had my day gig. I used my laptop heavily and it died. It just froze up. And I'm here and I had to take it to Apple, take it to the store. They put it in for repair. And I had like this 3-day period. This is like my livelihood, right? This is my lifeblood and everything's on that laptop. And I do back up, but I hadn't for a little bit. And there were some important things that happened in December. And I had this 3-day period where I had no idea if it was going to be working or not. They couldn't tell me until they got to look at it. And they were, of course, too busy. So I had to wait. And let me tell you, I was able, because in my mind, right, that thing should just fire up and work every time. That was what I expected. But then it didn't once. And it really forced me to put to practice some of the work that I've been practicing for years and years. And that is to just trust. Okay, the incident right in front of me is my laptop's broken. What now? You know, I'll go and have breakfast with my friend and I'll spend a little more time with my kids, and I'm not supposed to be working right now. And it took a couple days and then I found out it's fine and everything's back. And so go with the life that shows up. Okay, that's where these wake-up calls feel more dramatic, when we have in mind the way our path is going to go and it doesn't, and it diverts from that. That's when the shift feels more dramatic. Okay, internally, your first internal energy here is success. So I'm feeling like you're getting this concept. You got it, right? Even if stuff happens and shatters your world and blows things up for a minute, you're okay, and you know this now. You know you're always going to be all right. And inside, you really know it. It might not show up in your external life yet. You know, you might still feel a little nervous during the day and, you know, unsure and have a hard time going forward, but you're getting it within. You're getting it, okay? In your external life, yep, you are getting it because the awareness is coming. The veil is being lifted. You're starting to see with more clarity. You get that this dream, this sort of illusioned life, isn't really valid. Your life is in this very moment. You know, like right now I'm talking to you and I'm watching a flock of birds fly outside my window. That's my reality right now. Not in my mind what's going to happen 2 weeks from now, right? Stay grounded, stay in it. Even in the aftermath of a big wake-up call like this card is implying, you can still, you can grow and gain from it, right? And your clarity and your awareness are showing up in your external world. The next internal energy is to go with the flow. And that's what we've kind of been talking about right now. Take the life that's brought to you and deal with it, right? Either move around the obstacles or wait for them to disappear, or, you know, the good stuff that comes your way, enjoy it, revel in it, soak it in, go with the flow. Take the energy and go. In your external world, you might be feeling a sense of guilt. This could go back to this original wake-up call situation. I'm not sure. It could be an internal acknowledgement of something's changing within you and you know it, and it's changing your outside world and you feel guilty about that. Or others around you have guilt. And which is less about, you know, because this is an external position. So it could be others in your life are causing guilt or creating guilt or feeling guilt. And what you want to do is just revert back to this internal awareness, this going with the flow, just knowing you're okay. Every step along your path, you're doing fine, you're getting there, even in the midst of these big changes. And these big changes could be this new way of dealing with things for yourself. That could be the change right there. So if this were a personal reading, we'd tune in more on that. But right now, this is general, and you could take from it what you like. The top here of the internal line of energies is the turning in card. So yeah, go with the flow, meditate, be in your prayer practice more, listen to music, put your headphones in, 10 extra minutes in the bath, quiet time, whatever it takes for you to stay in touch with your inner guides, because they're the ones that are keeping you grounded right now. And if there's stuff, happening all around you, and feeling a little bit chaotic, rest in that. Rest in your internal groundedness, and you'll be fine. You'll get through this. And the apex, or the outcome of this reading, and this is an external energy, is creativity. I love it. So if you are a creative person, and we all are actually creative people, but if you're really focused on your creative expressions, then they're going to be enhanced by this journey, by this reading, by the practice of knowing, every step along the way, I'm okay, and you can touch base with your internal self and know that you're gaining clarity in your outer world, and it will help your sense of creativity. It will help you express things out. Okay. All right, Sag. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and give me some likes and comments if you'd like. And I think that's it for now. Until the next time. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.